live chat. I'm Heather. I'm Director of Education here at Luminess. And guys, we are here each and every day for you so you learn more and more about Luminess and what we have to offer. And so, yeah, I'm here for you each and every day. And so I am taking off Friday, though. I'm taking off tomorrow. So I won't be here, but I'll be thinking of you. So I hope you're having a marvelous Thursday. And so, yeah, at 10 o'clock, we did the rose gold mask. And then at this one, we're going to start airbrushing. So my face is prepared and ready to airbrush. I have some products out. I'm still trying to, man, I have 3 of these. I'm still trying to figure out how to work everything. Not necessarily work everything, but like align. Hey, Donnie, Deborah, Elba. Hello, Casey. How are you? All right, so let's get started. I want to go over, I'm just trying to think what to do. I do have on the Kinetic brightening serum. Normally I do the Velvet Veil. I'm like, should I do the concealer? What do you guys want to see? Do y'all want to see airbrush, the peach color corrector, CC concealer? What do we want to see? I'll give you a second. Man, I just scratched my neck. I can do the concealer, the regular concealer, the Nude Illusion. Yesterday we had some fun because we did, I did the crease and lined my eyes with our eyeliner. So that was a little something different. How about, do you want to start out with eraser? That's something that, oops, somebody just said CC concealer. So we can start with that one, since that's the first one I saw. This is it. Okay, so I'm using, hello, Kendra, how are you? Now everybody's going to say all different things. Let's see. I'll tell you what, let's do this. So we can kind of do, and this is what honestly, this is what I would do if everything's switched. I'm like, where am I? All right. Hey, Moozy, how are you, baby? So I am going to start with the Nude Illusion concealer. And this is something that I'm going to put on my lid. So my lids are darker. I think I still have a little bit of airbrush makeup on it, but my lids are darker, and the Nude Illusion concealer does not allow for any movement. So it makes a great primer for the eyes to create kind of a good foundation before putting on eyeshadow. And so remember that a lot of it, or you just need a little bit. So do it, it dries really quickly. So I wouldn't put it on both eyes. I would actually put it on one eye, work that in, and then do it on this eye, and then do that. So I would just go boop, 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 like that. You could take a brush, a blender, use your hand. I prefer, because I'm so used to airbrushing, I'm not used to makeup on my hands. So when I do get it, I'm like, but you can use whatever you need to. Hey, Jane Todd. But you can already tell how different that is. I mean, look at that. And it does create a nice starting point. Okay. Now let's do it to this side. But if you leave it on too long without touching it, it's going to be harder to blend. So that's why make sure to do it in sections, because anywhere around your eye area, you don't want a lot of pull on that area, because this area and under here is so thin that we don't want to mess with it. All right, now I'm going in and I'm going to use a little bit of translucent powder and just set it. Because remember, anything that's cream or liquid based, you're going to want to set with powder. It doesn't need to be a lot. I mean, when I say a little, I literally just went, boop, knocked off the extra and dusted that through. All right. So now I'll do the CC concealer underneath. So you can already tell how smooth and how that evened my eyes out. And then you do see a little bit of redness here. So you'll be able to see what a difference the CC concealer makes. Now the CC concealer is also going to give you a little more coverage. It's a step up in coverage from eraser or even X out. So know that if you like coverage, you might want to try the CC concealer. And I'm using light beige, starting my system. So Arena's on YouTube and she says she doesn't know how to use eraser. So Arena, you're going to use it exactly the same way I'm about to use the CC concealer. Eraser is something you're going to put on before the foundation, and you basically just target those problem areas. So redness, dark circles, imperfections, anything like that, you're going to use in that area. You do not have to put it all over your face. So just like the CC concealer, I'm not going to put this all over my face. I'm going to use it under my eyes and start my coverage under where my redness is. So I'm now barely pulling back on my trigger. I'm looking up, moving down, looking up to get under my eyes, and then moving down. So I'm making like half moon movements, but I'm my fingers off the trigger, so I'm not spraying, but I'm making half moon movements coming down. So I'm not staying in one spot. Is this the coverage that I want? Absolutely not. We're making those passes. We're creating, I don't like to say layers because airbrush and Luminess is not about layers. It's passes because it's working with your skin to make you look flawless without having that makeup-y look. Okay, I should have done it on one side so you could see it better. Maybe I'll start doing that. So I'm just blending that down, not staying in one spot too long. And this should show you that the kiss of air that's coming out is so light. It doesn't bother you when it gets on, you know, like I'm actually spraying it at an angle underneath my eyes and looking up and then moving it down. It's a nice kiss of air. It feels good. Hey, Cindy. Feels amazing. But look at that. You can already tell that it's working. Is it 100%? No, because I still have things to do. Remember that concealer, eraser, X out, color corrector, all of those are starting your coverage. They're getting you there. We're starting that movement. We're starting that coverage. It doesn't have to cover 100%. I still have foundation, but what these are going to do, the concealer to the foundation, it's even out your skin tone. And that means it's going to make your face flat, meaning you're not going to have any dimension. I'm not contouring right now. I am evening out my skin tone so I can build the color, I can build the dimension back up. So that's the objective when we're talking concealer and foundation. Move my chair a little bit. Shoni says, already great coverage. Exactly. And I'm just blending that out because I just have a little bit more left. It's about to be empty. But great coverage under my eyes. My redness is starting to disappear. And bam, there you go. All right. Now that's with the CC concealer. Now I can take, nope, they switched everything on me over here. Okay. Now I'm taking the shade 3 Silk 4-in-1. Shade 3, shaking this bad boy up. And remember, you want to shake every product that we have. It's mineral and water based, so we want to make sure that those pigments mix in, that everything is mixing together. Muzak just brought up a good point that oh, actually I read it wrong, but it is a good one, that a little bit goes a long way. You don't need to add a lot of drops. In fact, I want you to start out with less drops and then add if you need to. Now, when you first start, hey Trish, when you first start, You might be using more drops, and that's completely fine, but just know that you'll be using less and less drops as you go. So concealer, eraser, X out, start with about 3 drops and keep going. See how long you can make that last, and then add some if you need to, but you should be getting the coverage that you need with about 3 to 4 drops. Now I have about 5 drops of my foundation, and now I'm just going to start with my forehead and make my passes, and then I can stop after making 1 pass. Is there a place I need more coverage? Then I can concentrate on those and keep going. Now, when I'm airbrushing, notice that I'm not hurrying, I'm not rushing. I'm barely pulling back on my trigger, covering, making my passes. Shoni uses Mystic and Silk. You can mix the different finishes of foundation that we have. For sure, Mystic is going to give you a little more coverage. It has a higher pigment. Just bring this around. And remember, I'm evening out my skin. Just trying to create that flawless look so I can concentrate that on where I had my redness. I know where my flaws are, right? Everybody knows where your flaws are. So you can concentrate that. You see me do it in this area more than here or here. So just make sure you do blend it down. Ah, everybody seems to mix. That's awesome. Maria asked, Boost It is something you can apply with or without airbrush? Boost It is something you're going to go through the airbrush, but you don't necessarily need to add it to foundation. Boost It you can wear by itself. I need to order some of that, by the way. Forgot about that. I'm out at home, and I love mixing Boost It with my foundation because it just boosts up the complexion. It'll give you a different look, a different finish. And we did talk about this too. I'm going to go over my lips a little bit because my lips are crooked. And so I do want to, when I talk, and so I want to make sure I get those even. And I'm going to have to fix my eyebrow. All right. So I don't need everything in here. So I'm going to blow that out right there. And then I'm ready to move on. Foundation is done. I'm even. You don't see redness. You don't see flaws. You don't see. Now, if you like more coverage, you most certainly can do more coverage. If you like less coverage, you're like, I don't need that. Then use less. That's what's great about Luminess is that it can be everything for everybody. It does not have to be this or that, or I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be. All right, so now, no, I guess I wiped my eyebrow somehow, and so now I'm going to go in with the dual pen. And square that off a little bit more. And I do like, mine's kind of tricky because my real hair is dark. So my eyebrows are darker. And ooh, okay, hold on 1 second, Mark. My real hair is darker. So taupe sometimes is too light for me, but I do like it lighter here. So sometimes I'll start off with taupe and then I'll go to cocoa or brown to kind of finish it a little bit. So it's always fun to mix. Let's see. Yay, Cindy. So Marcy says she's 62, no wrinkles, no real blemishes. What would be my first application? So Marcy, it depends on, honestly, you could go straight to airbrushing. If you don't have wrinkles and crinkles or anything to really conceal, you can go straight to airbrushing. If you need moisturizer or some moisture in your skin, maybe porcelain velvet veil is another one that you could use. But velvet veil is something you're going to apply with your hands, and that's going to help blur wrinkles and crinkles. But if you don't have that, then you could go straight to airbrushing and just put your drops in and go to town. That's something you can definitely do. Sometimes that's what I do on the weekends. And so you don't necessarily have to do that many steps if you don't need it. I mean, again, that's what I love about Luminess. If I just want to even out my skin tone, I'll go straight to airbrushing. I won't use the concealer. I won't use all that. Or maybe I'll do actually, when I come to work, I was mixing Boost It and in the foundation, and just going with that. So you don't necessarily need to take those extra steps. So I would go straight to airbrushing. All right. My only concern are lip lines. So that is something that maybe you put velvet veil around the lip lines, but then I would also use our lip liners. Our lip liners are thebomb.com. They're very creamy. And so that will definitely help keep things in place. And so I'll go in. I'm going to use Dusty Rose. It's one of my favorites. Yay. All right. So I'm going to use Dusty Rose. Not that. I'm going to use this one. And I'll just line my lips. And you can see that it goes on so effortlessly. And this will help. I call them straw lines. So if you have like lines around the mouth, they used to be called cigarette lines, but people were getting them not from smoking. They were just from straws. So I call them straw lines. And then I always fill in the lips. Like that. And so you can, from here, you can put a stain on. You can go with a lip topper. I would probably do, I do this color just by itself and bam. Hey, Andy. And that's all you have to do. So it's up to you what you would like to do. All right, guys. That's it. That's all we're going to do. We're going to finish the look at the 3 o'clock hour. Well, I guess I could. Should I do some contouring so I don't look like death? All right, so I'm going to get my contouring brush. I am going to use this one right here, of course, the Lion King Sculpting Palette. And I'm going in with the bottom left 2 and start my contouring. I'm going in super light. And blend and blend. And now what we're doing is creating dimension. I'm creating those cheekbones that I want. I'm creating a look that I want now that we're adding color back in. And anyone can contour. It doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be, really thick or real, severe. It can be a soft contour. And then I can also go in and create a little bit of shimmer. Right at my cheekbone area. And then down my nose. And then right at the Cupid's bow right here, which I love. All right. So like I said, it does not have to be anything big or crazy. Now, keep in mind, let me do this real quick. Contouring, when we're doing eyes, that's also contouring. So if I take our contouring palette, the sculpting palette, and contour in my crease, which is this, it's this for the eye. Just like that, it creates depth. So it creates the depth for the eye when adding that in the crease, but you need to use a matte. And there you go. See, easy breezy. In seconds, we can do makeup. It does not have to be any 2-hour extravaganza. It can be something very simple, something very easy, and all that was done with basically sculpting. The sculpting palette and maybe a little bit of shine. That's it. And so, guys, keep in mind, that's why I tell you to do something different right before you take off your makeup. Right before you take your makeup off, maybe do that smokier eye. Maybe go for a perfect lip or a stronger lip. Maybe contour, do something so you're always thinking, always doing possibly something different. All right? All right, guys, I will see you back here at 3. We're back at 3. All right, have a great lunch. I hope you're having a great Thursday, and I hope to see you back here at 3. Bye for now.